$5 Games presents Valkyria Chronicles. First impressions of this game were that there was going to be a lot of plot. And there is a lot of plot. Don't expect this game to be completed within an hour. I finished the prologue within an hour. The game is set in an alternative history of one of the world wars. Although there are some fantasy elements, such as radioactive rocks that can heal troops and tanks, rocket-propelled grenades that are shot out of lances, a girl that glows blue, and being able to take multiple bullets while running around on the battlefield. Here is a brief summary of the prologue. The story sets off with the main protagonist discovering fish to sketch. After a brief exchange with the fish, he finds himself... Yes, he is talking to the fish. The fish aren't replying to him, so it's more like he's talking at the fish. Yes, this is normal for him. You can call him a weirdo if you want, but some people talk to themselves. Like YouTubers. Anyways, the town watch comes by and seeing a man they've never seen before, arrest him immediately for potentially being a spy. Although it's hinted that the female protagonist is just a tsundere who arrests people who she's interested in. Before they make it anywhere, he is cleared of all charges and is given a gun to fight off a scouting party that is killing whoever they come across. I want to include that I did see them killing people who are running away. There isn't any blood, but that does happen. Anyways, this does give off the impression that the scouting party was actually being used more as a terrorist force than actual scouting. But since the nation fell under the invaders within a couple hours, it must have been an effective tactic. After taking numerous bullets to the face, the group manages to fend off the scouting party. Unfortunately, the protagonist's adoptive sister's friend has entered labor, so now they have to come up with a solution. What solution? They decide to put the woman in a tank that was left in the barn by the male protagonist's late father, and then drive her to safety. However, then the male protagonist has the bright idea that he needs to save the female protagonist, who's currently defending the town against a tank. So the male protagonist loads up his tank, and with some shells, blows away the enemy tank with the pregnant woman inside. Miraculously, the baby is born safely and without complications inside the tank. There is then this touching moment. Yes, the town is still on fire. Also, according to the internet, newborn babies can only see about 8 to 12 inches away. So there are moments like that in the game as well. Basically, since the game is dealing with the depressing subject of war, they try to balance it with feelings of hope and lightheartedness. Now, besides a lengthy, engaging, skippable story, it also has phenomenal gameplay. Every hero unit gives me a point indicated by a yellow medal that I can then use to take control of one of my units. Once I'm controlling a unit, I can freely move around until I run out of stamina. It's called something else, but it's essentially stamina. While I am running around, enemies will constantly shoot at me, reducing my HP in the process. However, while I'm running, I'm able to press a button that will tell the enemies that I'm ready to take aim and shoot at them. Being aggravated that they have to now listen to this ridiculous request, they will still fire a bullet or two at me before stopping. I'm then able to take my sweet time to aim at their delicate heads and fire. If they survive, they retaliate with their own barrage of bullets. Once they're done retaliating, I can then continue to run around or end control as soon as possible because the enemy will just keep shooting. I can then repeat that process as long as I have the points that look like the yellow medals, or I can save those points for a future turn. After I end my turn, it's the enemy's turn, and they get to go through the exact same process. Usually the AI will be dumb and just run in front of my units, getting a face full of lead, or run around in circles behind cover. But occasionally, they'll decide that they're going to run all the way around all of my forces and then take out the weakest link. The AI does seem to be somewhat tamed though, which can make for some rather non-intuitive solutions for some battles. Take the third battle for example. I was clearly outgunned by the tank and the shock trooper. If I move the main character, I die. There was no taking out the tank or the shock trooper. The game was trying to throw a situation where I was clearly pinned down and nothing I could do. However, they didn't want to force a game over on me. That would be poor game design. If they wanted to, they could just have the tank or the shock trooper run over to the female protagonist and just shoot her. But instead, they have them shoot at one of the side guards and then focus on the main gate. Meaning that the most optimal solution that I could come up with was to do nothing for 2 whole turns waiting for my tank to arrive. And then, with all the points that I saved up across those 2 turns, bring my tank over and destroy their tank, winning the mission. But really, the gameplay is really fun. Trying to dodge bullets, deciding where to aim at the enemy, deciding where to position my units. There's quite a bit of strategy involved. The third battle probably actually has multiple ways to win. I was simply unable to find them. Anyways, that's a wrap for this game. Consider picking this game up as a group activity instead of going to a movie theater to see a war movie.